A dollar bill signed by Walt Disney and Ronald Reagan? Sounds like a weird combo, right? But it actually makes sense. Before becoming president, Reagan was a famous actor. And if you have ever watched Back to the Future, you knew this.
Who's president of the United States in 1985?
Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan, the actor?
That's where I learned it. And with both being in Hollywood, they were actually close friends, which leads to one incredible piece of memorabilia that somehow ends up in the Pawn Stars shop. But the story behind this bill and what happens to it after being on Pawn Stars might surprise you. A seller walks in with a dollar bill autographed by Walt Disney and Ronald Reagan. At first it sounds random. Why would someone have them sign a dollar bill? But when you realize that Reagan was the MC at Disneyland's grand opening, it starts to make sense. The seller believes this bill is connected to that event, though he has no proof. Still, you can kind of picture it. Someone runs into Disney and Reagan, grabs the only thing they've got, a dollar bill, and asks for signatures. The seller wants $4,300. He mentions he bought it at an auction, and after some digging, I found that auction. He paid $2,231 about a year before appearing on the show. Suddenly, his asking price makes perfect sense, and explains why he won't take Corey's offer later. Corey calls in Steve, the show's go-to autograph expert, who confirms that the signatures are real and values the bill at $3,000. Walt Disney autographs can even go for way more money than that. Check out my video on a Disney stock certificate I did, but in that one, neither Steve nor Corey had any idea what they were actually looking at, and it caused Corey to pay thousands more than he should have because, spoiler alert, it wasn't actually a Disney stock certificate like they thought. Link below. Now, here's where I'll throw a bone to everyone who gets in the comments that the show is fake, but it's not fake. It's produced. And this scene is a great example of that. The seller originally bought the dollar at an auction that already authenticated it, likely complete with a holder or case. But on the show, it's presented as just a loose dollar, no COA, no protection. Because it's more dramatic that way. It also gives Steve something to do, breaking out his nifty tools and authenticating it again for TV. So no, not fake, just produced for entertainment, but the actual negotiations and deals remain genuine. Corey starts with an offer of $1,800. The seller, having paid more, holds firm at $4,300. Corey counters at $2,200. And the seller replies, "You're killing me with that," which we know is because that's exactly what he paid, and he is briefly tempted to take that deal. But he doesn't budge and sticks with his initial price. He insists it's worth more money and says he'll frame it with photos of Disney and Reagan. Well, he didn't do any of that. Maybe he should have. Instead, not long after the episode aired, and probably only a few months after it was filmed, he put it back up for auction, with the same auction house he bought it from. The result? The bill sold for just $1,257. And if you have watched my videos, you know fees are in that price, and the seller didn't actually get that amount. So Corey actually got really lucky that the seller didn't take his offer. And while Steve's $3,000 appraisal wasn't wildly off given the prior sale, it was definitely optimistic. As for the seller, in hindsight, he should have taken that $2,200 cash offer and walked away breaking even. Auctions can just be so unpredictable. But what do you think? Would you have taken that deal to break even, or held out hoping for more like the Pawn Stars seller did? Let me know in the comments after you click subscribe. Seriously, just subscribe. Thanks for watching.